Hello everyone, welcome back to Pear Blossom Press YouTube channel. My name is Sarah and I have a card project for you today. So I'm just going to start with some specialty cardstock. This black specialty cardstock is from Marcos Papers. The green is from Your Paper Insider box number 11. Other than the black paper, all of the specialty cardstock I'm going to be using today is from the Your Paper Insider box 11. So I have to apologize. First of all, I had some technical difficulty and I lost some of my video footage. I did kind of realize what was going on and that I had lost some video footage fairly quickly. So you're not going to miss any of the nuts and bolts. I'll walk you through exactly how I put the card together, but I do have an area of my video where I lost some footage. So what I'm basically going to do right now is I want to make a background for a card that looks like a night sky. So we're going to use that beautiful kind of shimmery, satiny black paper. And then I just hand cut some hills onto the green specialty cardstock. And that's going to give us kind of our base for the rest of our page or our card design. The light up aspect of our card is going to be that I'm going to use a piercing tool to pierce some holes into the black cardstock, and then I'm also going to take a die. I have a couple of star dies and like little twinkle dies, and I'm going to die cut some stars and some twinkles out of the black paper. I am going to utilize both the negative and the positive space. Now, because of the way these dies I'm using are set up, it's set up so that there are like two kind of really close together. So I'm going to do my best to kind of mask that so that it doesn't look perfectly evenly lines of stars. And I think it works out really good. I love how this card turned out. It turned out so cute. So I'm going to go ahead and just do that. I'm going to die cut out a bunch of the stars. And like I said, we're going to do the negative and the positive of the dies. In addition to the black stars that I'm die cutting, I'm also going to die cut some yellow. Again, this is a yellow specialty cardstock from Your Paper Insider box 11. And if you really love specialty cardstocks, they have some really unique and fun ones. And I'm going to put them in my little container so that I have some of the kind of tone-on-tone kind of black stars that are going to create some texture, but then I have these yellow stars that are going to kind of pop off of that black background. Next, I am going to go ahead and take those stars, both the black ones and the yellow ones, and I'm going to create clusters around the opening. So remember how I said the dies were connected, and I don't want them to look like they're all paired up and connected. So I'm going to add a lot of stars across this night sky. Some of them are just going to be tone on tone and they're just going to provide texture. Some of them are going to be that bright yellow. And then we will have a light from behind that will kind of light up the star openings that we created. And if you're interested in the star dies as well as the other dies that I'm going to be using here in just a minute, those are all from Lawn Fawn. It's the Build a Drink mason jar die and the Build a Drink, it's like called a lantern add-on, but they're all from Lawn Fawn. And here is a close-up so you can see how that looks with all of the die cut holes. So off camera, I die cut a whole bunch of elements that I want to use for the rest of my card, starting with these little lantern pieces. The bottom of my little lantern here is just white cardstock, and I'm inking the edges using Hickory Smoke Distress Oxide ink. Then for the little kind of outline that gives this jar the look of a real jar. I mean, that's just my opinion, but I cut that from like a light, very light, almost white blue cardstock. And I think that that worked really well to kind of give that little lantern some detail. Then on the inside, I have this beautiful kind of swirly star piece that I'm going to put inside of the lantern. And then last but not least is the little hook to kind of add. I was trying to decide if I wanted the lantern's little handle to be going up or going down, but it worked much better with it going down. So I'm just going to put a little bit in the middle of the handle and then attach the two ends. Next, we have the cutest fireflies ever. So I cut the body of the firefly from a dark gray, but then I'm coming in with some alabaster pigment ink, and I'm just catching the edges to kind of just smooth out, give those fireflies a little bit of shadow, a little bit of interest right around the edge. I cut his little light up, little lightning bug bottom from that gold cardstock that I have been using for other areas of my card. And then for the back of his eyes, I'm going to grab just a scrap piece of black cardstock, place it behind his little head, and then I'm going to grab my white Jelly Roll pen and add a little bit of highlight to my little eyes. And I made 3 of those adorable little fireflies. And this is the part where I lost all of the rest of the footage. So then I came back and I'm going to show you how I adhered the light to the back. I chose the Easy Lights, the 3-pack. So in this pack, you get 3 of the lights that I'm going to share with you. I'll show you how the light looks. So it has 1 battery pack, and then you have 3 kind of individual lights, which means you can manipulate where these lights go and where they will be on your card, which is perfect for this card because I wanted to get the lights as close to those die cut openings as I could. So what I did was I put the battery pack down towards the bottom. See right there at the, see if you can see. So I positioned the battery pack so that the little hole or the little switch to turn the lights on would be in the bottom right-hand corner of my lantern. And that is where I put the battery pack. And then I just held everything in place with some repositionable tape. I use the Best Craft tape from Spellbinders, but you could use whatever you have. You could even use washi. And I manipulated those wires so that the lights at the end would be right by the openings. Then I took some of the world's best foam tape ever and filled the foam tape around the lights to hold everything into place and to give the clearance that I need for the battery pack. And in fact, I'm going to show you how amazing the world's best foam tape is here in just a second, because I haven't completely adhered this together, or this hasn't been 30 to 45 minutes, which means the foam tape is still repositionable. So I'm actually going to go ahead and show you how easy this is. I'm going to pull up the back of the card so I can show you the guts and how I did this. And the foam tape couldn't decide if it wanted to stick to the back of the card or if it wanted to stick to the card base, but we got there in the end. So you can see here I'm showing you how I manipulated the wires to where I wanted the light to be, held it in place with the repositionable tape, and then added the pieces of the foam tape around to give everything lift and so that the battery pack had the clearance that it needed. And there we go. So for my sentiment, I grabbed that light blue cardstock that I used for the outside of the lantern and stamped my sentiment on it. And then you can see here's the card. And you just hit the bottom right of my lantern for it to light up. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am so sorry that I lost some of my footage, but I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.